So first thing, you have to have it in standard form. That means you have an x to the 4, so you have to have an x to the 3, x squared, x. You have to have each piece. So we're going to write it out. 5x to the 4 plus 0x cubed minus 3x squared plus x plus 1. And this is being divided by x squared plus 2. Alright, so what number is understood to be in front of the x squared? Malik. What number is in front of this x squared? 1. So we start with that. 1 times what is 5? 5. X squared times what is x to the 4? X squared. So that's your first term. So 5 times 1x squared is 5. X squared times x squared is x to the 4. 5 times 2 is 10. X squared times no x is x squared. Alright, so you subtract. So you have to do the opposite. This was positive, so you subtract. So 0x cubed negative 13x squared. Alright, so 1 times what is 0? 0. So I have plus 0x. So that gets me 0x cubed. And 0 times 2 is 0x. So I have negative 13x squared plus x plus 1. 1 times what is negative 13? Negative 13. So we have negative 13 x squared. Negative 13 times 2 is negative 26. But I do the opposite, so that's and that. So I have x plus 27. X squared times what gets me x? Can't be done. So it's remainder x plus 27. Is it one on the homework? Nope.
Can you do 89?
89 was on the homework? Nope.
It's just okay.
What number you got to do again?
93 was 89 through 98.
Alright. Do you want to see another one?
Can you come and check this one?
Alright. So let's look at problem. Let's look at problem 100.
Right there, problem now.
Which one?
What we just did.
I'll go back to it in just a minute. Alright. Alright, problem number 100.
It's okay.
Alright. I have an x to the 4. no x to the third, no x squared, so I have to put them in. So negative 3 x to the fourth plus 0 x to the third plus 0 x squared minus 2x minus 1. Divided by x minus 1. Alright. What number is understood to be in front of the x, Granisha? One. So 1 times what is negative 3? Mr. Lee.
Negative what times 3? 3?
1 times 3 is negative 3?
Oh, no, negative 3 times.
So negative 3. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Now x, but I have to make it to an x to the 4th. So x times what is x to the 4th?
X squared.
Not squared. Cubed. So x to the 3rd. Alright, so negative 3 times positive 1 is positive 3x to the 3rd. Alright, so you have to change it to the opposite. So this becomes a positive, this becomes a negative. That's 0. 0 minus 3 is negative 3x cubed plus 0x squared minus 2x minus 1. Alright, so 1 times what is negative 3? X times what is x cubed? X squared. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3x cubed. Negative 3 times negative 1 is 3x squared. So you change it. This becomes a positive. This becomes a negative. Now, 0 minus 3x squared, negative 3x squared minus 2x minus 1. Alright, so 1 times what is negative 3? Negative 3. X times what is x squared? X. So, negative 3 times 1x is negative 3x squared. Negative 3x times negative 1 is positive 1x. So, change it to the opposite because you're subtracting. That becomes a positive. That becomes a negative. Negative 3x minus 1. 1 times what is negative 3? Negative 3. Negative 3 times 1x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 1 is plus 3.
What is one like?
Now,
I'm lost at the blue.
so negative 3 times 1 is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. You have to do the opposite. So that makes that positive. That becomes negative. Negative 4. I cannot do any more because I'm done. So your answer is,
I got a question.
hold on one second. Remainder 4. Yes, ma'am.
I didn't ask you when you got it. Thanks for the camera.
Alright. So there's 2 more examples. You have to have every single piece in there. If you have an x to the 5th, you have to have a 4th, a 3rd, a squared, an x, and a number.
You said too much, I'm sorry.
Alright. So the assignment is 89 through 98. It is due tomorrow.
This is hard.
It's hard, man.
Tomorrow's Tuesday. All of
It's tomorrow.
We started on it last week, so
It's
you had
hard.
Friday class, Monday class, Tuesday class. Alright. So, remember, all assignments are due on Tuesday. Wednesday
It's over.
will be our test ticket. Thursday will be testing.
Miss, we don't need no test over this.
Alright.
I'm gonna need you to check these, please. It's gonna be like.